Hey everyone, we're back. Sorry we had a small internet connection issue, but we stopped the timer. We weren't cheating, and we're going to build this coop and time ourselves here. But just to recap, I'm Josh from Mother Earth News.
And I'm David with the Egg Carton. And this is Gene.
So if you think we can do this in an hour, go ahead and say it in the comments or ask any questions you have in the comments. And we're just going to be slowly assembling this coop here. So what we've done so far, we've built the foundation and we've attached
corner gussets to the front.
The corner gussets of the chicken tractor.
Right. And the rear lift mechanisms as well.
Okay. So I think we're ready to get started again. So officially start your timers. Okay, and so the question that was asked that we were answering before we blanked out was how many chickens this particular coop is designed to hold.
Yeah. Well, I think 6 to 8 is a fair number for the average size chicken. If you have small like bantams or a small breed, I wouldn't be afraid to put in more than 8. But if they're bigger hens, I would put in less.
Okay.
That will just go the other way, just a half a turn.
There
you go. That's it.
Okay. And for people that are coming in and weren't on the original stream, what we're looking at here, this is step number 3. And what are we putting up in the air here?
We're putting on the corner posts, the uprights, I call them. And it's where the rafters will fasten to. It's where everything hinges on, after the foundation, everything hinges on these corner posts.
Okay.
That's what it's built on.
Okay. And remember, people, if you have any questions about chicken tractors or about this particular coop, ask them in the comments and we will answer them live on air. Okay. Oh, we need a couple more, don't we?
And this is...
Right.
Grab a few here for you.
Okay. We have another drill. And Zach, do we have any questions or any comments from people? This is for the baby chicks. Actually, Tanya, if you want to come back here for a second, we'll check in on the baby chicks. They're here. Let's see if I can reach over here. For those of you that recognize this is Premier One's electric netting, but it's not electrified today. Oh, never mind. They don't want to be caught. These are some of the chicks that we hatch here in the office. And if you've been with us the whole way, you know that we hatched them with the Brinzy incubator. We've started them out on scratch and peck feeds. And today we're with Egg Carton, and we're going to be building this here coop. So yes, we appreciate everybody that stuck with us the whole way that we've been doing this chicken project. And if you haven't, you can go back into our video tab and see all the different chicken videos we've done on the Facebook page. So let's check back in over here though. Sorry, I'm neglecting.
That's okay.
Showing them the chicks.
Well, you've been watching those for a while now,
okay.
So.
And so, David, for our people that weren't here last time and didn't see the whole walkthrough, what are these different components called?
Well, these are what we're installing right now is what I call the eave headers, because they stretch from one corner post to the other, so they'll carry a good bit of the weight from the weight of the roof, and as well as providing a structure to hang the siding onto.
Okay. And these are 2x6s? Right. And so one of the questions I'm sure people are going to have is how much, if they go the chicken tractor route and they get the wheel kit from you, about how much are they looking to invest in lumber?
Well, in lumber, you're going to look at around $200 with lumber, and some of the mesh. You can buy this at Lowe's. You can buy the mesh. You can buy the lumber. You can also buy it at other box stores. But it's relatively inexpensive to to build your own.
Okay.
W-
We're neglecting our handoff duties here.
I think we are, Gene.
Gene's a one-man. He's a Coop building machine. All right, so you need this thing just held.
We'll bring it up here like this.
Okay, so it's flush with this.
Yeah. How are you there, Gene?
Okay, you know what? I need to be down here a little bit more,
Yeah, it looks.
and then down here.
Okay, and so for people that can't see from this side about it, how much of a gap do we want over here?
Between the corner and the.
Well,
We're gonna have
pretty much to create the overhang
the
for.
overhang is going to be right around 4 inches.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions, Zach? Oh. Would it be easier?
Towards the end of that. There you go.
Why does the chicken coop only have 2 doors?
Only have 2 doors. Well, I guess because we don't need more now. There'll be the possibility of adding a 3rd door, one that's automatic if you'd like to, and that will let the chickens roam during the daytime if you want them out and about. But the reason we have just 2 doors, we have one for access to the inside of the coop, and then we'll have one that accesses the enclosed area.
Okay. And just to reiterate, I think to people that this is not just a chicken coop, but this is also a chicken tractor. So this is something that we're building to be mobile and to have the chickens run out beneath it and around it.
There we go. Yeah, that's. Go in between there. We may have to loosen the screw. Well, let's just get there. Hang on a second. Check this out. Let me just flip it this way. There we go. Gene, we may have to loosen the screw and back out the one side a little bit because we're getting a little. Let's do that.
And so one of the things that I think is pretty cool here is that you are doing this without a square.
We did some of that work ahead of time.
Okay. So,
but actually, one of the best tools to have to build something good and square is a good miter saw.
yeah.
And if you've got those, you just have a lot more chance to get things square and tight.
So, let me see if I can pull up some of the comments and questions that people are having here. More people wanting to know how many chickens go in the coop.
Well,
so
I'm
new people.
I'm going to say 6 to 8 of the regular of an average size breed. If you're going to put in your bigger breeds, I would probably stay at the 6 with the number 6. If you've got a smaller breed like bantams or anything like that, you can put in more.
Oh.
Again, I always tell people that you have to decide what you and your chickens like, because it's hard for me to tell. People have different ideas about how to do it, but I think that there's plenty of space in here for 6 to 8 chickens.
And so one of our viewers wanted us to zoom in a little bit closer. So Tanya, if you want to kind of come in here and just show this piece right here, and we can maybe, David, if you could kind of just point out where we've been so far for the newer viewers.
Right. Well, what we've done so far, we built the foundation. I should have explained the foundation is made of, we used treated lumber because this is ground contact. I'm not that big a fan of treated lumber, but since it's ground contact, it seemed reasonable to build the bottom with treated lumber. And then the uprights, those are just regular pine 2x4s, and you can buy all of these materials you can buy at Lowe's, any lumber yard, at Home Depot, or wherever you wish to access your lumber. So after the foundation, we put the uprights on. We've got we put the rafters on, the eave headers that actually carry the weight of the roof, or carry most of the weight of the roof. And after a bit, we'll get started with putting the purlins on where that will hold the roof sheeting. Back here, Gene, on that one.
I'm getting ends turned.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, so people just keep asking questions, and we're going to answer them here live on air as we go. So, David, Kathy Churchman wants to know about these brackets she's seeing on the bottom. So, so maybe we could just walk through kind of what we're looking at here.
This is a wheel lift kit, and after a bit, in fact, let's bring the wheel, Josh. This wheel goes on here, and we'll have one on either side, and then this is what we'll use to pick up the chicken tractor with. It latches in place with the front one, with front pedal, and unlatches with the back pedal. So that's what that bracket is for. One of the keys to making this useful is that we got corner gussets that tie the bottom frame to the uprights. That helps to build stability into the tractor, as well as providing a place to lift on. At the other end, then, we'll be installing a bracket that carries that the dolly will hook into. This is the front. This is the bracket where that'll go onto the other end of the chicken tractor, and then this dolly, a little like a pallet jack, will hook into the bracket, and we'll be able to lift it and then move the chicken tractor.
Okay, and another person, Dean, wants to know how many chickens and what are the dimensions of this coop?
The dimensions are roughly 4 feet by 6 feet, and as far as the amount of chickens, again, I would say 6 to 8 if it's a normal size breed, like your Rhode Island Reds, your Gold Stars, your Black Stars, and so forth. If you're going to raise Buff Orpingtons or some of the bigger breeds, I would stay with 6.
Okay, and so for people that want to know, like say someone has a bigger coop already, can they still put your wheel kit on that bigger coop?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I designed it for, because there's a lot of coops out there, a lot of chicken tractors that people find difficult to move. And this is an answer to the movability of chicken tractors. This works well on any chicken tractor that weighs from 300 to 400 pounds. This unit, when we're done, will weigh around 340 pounds, if I remember right. We weighed it the other night with the bathroom scales at each end, and that's what we came up with.
Was how much?
340, right, Gene?
Yeah, I think that was.
So just kind of like that's just your normal like lifting weight, right? You just lift that up every day?
Yeah, there you go.
That and your wheat.
That's what we do at 8 cartons.
There we go. Cool. Okay, and just for new people that are coming in, I'm Josh from Mother Earth News, and I'm here with the guys from Egg Carton, and we are building a coop. We are timing ourselves on this coop build, so if you have any idea about how much time this is going to take, we're betting a barbecue lunch over an hour. So I think they're going to hit it. We're on track to hit it right So if you have any ideas of how long this is going to take, write it in the comments. And let's see if we have any other questions here. Oh, Andrea wants to know where she can find this particular wheel kit.
Go to eggcarton.com is our website, and you can purchase it right there on our online store.
It is a little snug.
Where's the hammer?
Let's go in from the other side.
There we go.
Are you snug now? There you go.
Oh, wait a minute, we're backwards. Is that?
Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
think it'll be
It'll be
great.
fine. Yeah. How are you there for?
Okay. And so where we are right now on the Coop build is we're building the roof support.
That's right. These are what we call the roof purlins.
Do we want to put another wheel on the front there?
Yeah, I may as well as not. Just do that. We'll put the go ahead and that in.
Okay. And for people that are just tuning in, this is the part that makes this whole thing work. This is the chicken tractor mechanism. This is the wheel kit from Egg Carton. And to respond to a previous question, you can find that wheel kit at eggcarton.com, eggcartn.com. Okay. Do we need to lift it up at all, or?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Okay, and for people that want to know, how much can this wheel kit lift?
Yeah. Well, it's mechanic. The limits are the human factor. As far as what these will hold, these wheels are rated at about 200 pounds a piece, so you could actually pick up something probably that weighs around 800 pounds.
Okay.
But we don't recommend it for that heavy a Coop.
For people that aren't as strong as you are, you're saying a little lighter thing.
I would say that even my size, it's better to stick with something.
About a 300-pound Coop is
300
max?
to 400 pounds.
Okay.
400 pounds I consider sort of max. There's people that get them and crowd that a good bit.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Now we're going to move into the next step where we put the.
The back piece of siding in. It's going to be the. Okay. There we go.
Oh, nice. This thing's really coming together pretty quickly. And then the sides are next?
Actually, what we will do is next is put the floor in. No, we'll do one step before that. We'll put the bottom mesh around, so we can just reach into it and put it in without having to reach down to the floor.
Oh, okay.
So that will go over there.
Okay.
And let me grab.
And for people that want to know, particularly like because this is a chicken tractor, we're going to put mesh around the bottom so that the chicks can always have access to grass or pasture. You know, if you need to mow your yard, mow your neighbor's yard, fertilize their yard all in one swoop, chicken tractor. Zach, any other questions?
See, actually, we'll just put in these. I think these are the ones we need back here.
Okay.
Those will weigh off wait on just a bit longer.
The squares or the?
That is, these will go in the front then, but we'll mount these back here because they go into the floor. That's why we're putting those in first. So we'll get those just a little bit later.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's great though. That's great. We're getting close.
Yeah, so I can see the structure kind of coming up here. Let's see. So the next step after this, after we get the bottom run, is we're going to put the
floor in. As soon as you got this mesh back here, just to make so we don't, that'll be these pieces right here.
Okay, so our floor joists.
Right. Those go in. There's this one will go in the front just because of that spacer we got in there, but the rest will go in.
Okay. So what other questions do we have? Someone wanted to know if we were going to do a chicken dance. I'll tell you, we're not going to do a chicken dance, but when we put the chickens in here, they'll do a chicken dance. How about that? Oh, until the chicken manure burns the grass.
The fresh chicken manure does not typically burn the grass. It is chicken manure that has fermented, has sat for a long time, and has ammoniated that burns grass. Fresh chicken manure does not burn grass typically. So you do want to move it. You want to move it frequently, because at least once a day, as a typical rule. It depends a lot on the kind of sod that you have, but chickens can be really hard on sod, and they can be hard on the lawn if you don't keep them moved frequently.
So I move mine every day. Is that about what you recommend?
That's what I would recommend. That's what I do with mine.
Okay. And so just kind of, so we're back on here. I see you're using these kind of larger washers to hold that in place.
They're called fender washers.
Yeah.
That way.
Fender washers?
Fender.
Okay.
As in a car fender.
Okay.
They're just a big washer that they use sometimes in body shop applications.
So say I'm someone handy and I've purchased your wheel kit and I'm buying all this other stuff. I can just get my fender washers, I can get the netting, the mesh and everything else from my local hardware store?
It's true that the fender washers, you may need to go to a fastener store like a Fastenal or someplace where they have fasteners, but
okay.
We use a source. We buy them. We mail order them because that's the way we buy them in bulk. But most everything else you can buy at the.
And Tanya, if you would just want to look over here, and we can kind of show exactly what they're working with.
There you go. Yeah.
They're kind of working with. These are the fender washers, and then pretty much this whole thing looks like it's being put together with 3 different screw links, a little bit of chain, some door brackets, a couple latches, and about $200 worth of lumber, and the egg carton wheel kit.
Screws enough, and that will be fine. That will stay. Let's get you a measurement here.
What measurement do you want these at?
18 inches from to the center. This is not crucial, but if we can get about 18 inches.
So pretty much just like a stud length?
Yeah. That's right. That'll work. Marks there, Gene?
Yeah, there's the 3 feet.
Okay. You want to put the, okay. Yeah. I'm fine. I think this is where we're, I think that's where we're at. pull those blocks off the back, Gene. Okay.
Y'all need any more of these fender washers?
Okay. Let me. Are we square enough, or should we be?
See, I think, okay. We just need to move that out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I'm even over here if you want to. Get you a few 1.5-inch screws and. You got them? Okay, very good. Just enough to hold it down, will be fine.
And so, David, one of the questions was about predator proofing this.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure that this mesh that you're using, someone was asking about chicken wire instead of mesh. Why do you go with the mesh over the chicken wire?
We do it for predator. We go with the mesh instead of the chicken wire for predator proofing, just simply because the chicken wire is just enough. The gauge is enough smaller that it's just wise to go with something heavier, I think.
Okay.
However, again, for most predators, this is fine. Once in a while, people talk about the problems with black snakes, and black snakes love eggs.
Yeah, of course.
And
so they just climb right up in there.
So a full-grown black snake might have a problem getting through there, but the smaller ones will get through there. So sometimes people will use like a hardware cloth, a 1/2-inch hardware cloth, instead of the inch by inch.
And I know one of the things that we were just at the Power Poultry Institute, and a lot of people were talking about using electric netting, especially if you have an external door to this thing at the bottom.
Right.
You can just ring this with external netting.
You can do that, and if you electrify it, that's a good predator deterrent.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
but as far as predator proofing this, there's several ways you can do it. As a general rule, if you move your chicken tractor on a daily basis, your predators are going to many of them will be nocturnal. And if they're digging predators, if you keep moving the chicken coop, that discourages, that deters them, because they come back the next night to dig again to find this thing's somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Then it discombobulates them. They don't know what to do with that. But if you got an ambitious predator that will dig, all his way in during the night, that can be a problem. However, when we get done, you'll see that the little door that we're installing here can be closed up at night. So if you have questions about it, you've got some predators that are going to make trouble, that is one way to keep out at least some of those.
Cool. And so now that we're kind of seeing a design here, do you want to talk a little bit about the nest box area, the roosting area,
right,
and then the pasture area?
Yeah. What we're doing here, this is going to be the nest box area and roosting area. Gene will want to put our roost bars in here just directly.
I'll do it now.
That's fine. You can do it. We can do it now, or we can do it a little bit later too. But this will be the area where the chickens will likely spend their nights, because chickens always go up. When the chickens go to roost, that means up. And so.
And these are our roosting bars right here.
These are roosting bars right here. So we'll put these in here, spaced sort of evenly in this coop. It's not, the spacing is not a huge issue, except that it's just, it'll look better. The chickens won't know the difference. And then obviously, when a chicken gets ready to lay eggs, they like some privacy, and so that's why we while we create a nest box on the outside here, the chickens can hop into the nest box to lay their eggs, and when they're done, they can go back out. But chickens will about always find a place that to them is secluded before they lay their eggs.
Okay, so just for new people that are coming in, we're building a coop today, and we kind of to walk through, we built the frame. We've put up pretty much the entire framing portion of it, I guess.
We're very close. We need to put the door in the front here.
Okay.
Then after a bit, but we're getting very close to that.
And we've put on the wheel kit that'll actually make this into a chicken tractor. And this is what that is right there.
In fact, if you flip it the other way, you can actually latch it in place. Step on the front pedal, it latches it in place. You have to, just right, and then the back pedal unlatches it. You'll have to hit just the front,
I see.
just the front pedal to other way around. There you go. Now all the way down to it latches. There you go. And then you just step on the back pedal to unlatch it.
Oh, and now we're getting some siding up.
Right.
And so for this right here, this is the pallet, what I call the pallet jack.
We call it the dolly, but yeah, it works like the pallet jack. In fact, we could demonstrate it now that we've got that in there.
Okay. If you want to come over here and check this out.
You just lower this little dolly into and hook it into that hole. And then you lift up the chicken tractor. We'll fasten this just to make it secure yet before we put the nest box on.
Okay, so now we have the eaves.
Let me do this one. I think we'll put these up front and
those. So why are those split right there? I noticed you've got a little.
Let me just show you why we did that. It was to economize on our lumber. So what we did, we started out with a rectangular piece.
Oh, handy.
And made the saw cuts. And rather than waste these dog ears, we just put those to the back.
Okay.
As a general rule, or the front, whichever the case, above the nest boxes. Today we're going to reverse it. But
and I know that's a big part of this particular design for you is you produced as little waste as possible from this.
That's right. I think, of course, we left the waste back at the shop, but I think if I'm not right, Gene, wouldn't you say that we don't have more than probably 5 or 6 square feet of waste?
Wow. Okay.
We just tried to use the materials very efficiently because siding is expensive. The siding is going to cost you around $30 a sheet, whereas the OSB, the sheeting that we use, that's more like $12 or $13 a sheet. And so we do try to economize. We left about a half a sheet of OSB back as waste, but we've tried to do everything we can to cut down on waste, just to economize and to be responsible with resources.
A list of materials and a diagram.
I do have a list of materials that we'll work with Mother News here to get those available. And we'll have at some point we'll have instructions, assembly instructions to assemble the thing from the whole chicken tractor from start to finish. So that's still, we've got the script up, we've got the photos, we need to put them together so you can actually use it.
And this particular design, if you want to see some other stuff that Egg Carton puts together, go to eggcarton.com and you'll be able to see all their designs. This particular one is a modification of one of their primary designs, and it's designed specifically for the DIY home type of person. Okay.
We're going to put this up there first, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, these short ones, right?
Short ones.
To start with here. I think we'll put those in about right there.
Okay, and Tanya, if you want to kind of pan over and show what we have left here, We've been going from right to left and doing all of our steps in a row, and here's what we have left. So I don't know how we're doing on time here. We're pushing on it, but I think we're going to get pretty close to this. So if you think we can finish this in an hour, go ahead and comment on it. Turn our volume up.
Are you okay?
All right, and so these right here are framing in the doors.
Right. This one now framing the enclosed area. We'll now put a piece of siding up there just directly, and we'll finish out that area where the door goes. Okay, there you go.
Okay, and here's the roosting, and okay, so the nest box area is separate, and that's what that separate piece goes in there.
That's right. Well, this will now enclose this whole area. The chickens have a secure place to be in now.
Okay. And so for people that want to know, essentially what we're doing here is this is the coop, and that is the run.
That's right. That is exactly right.
And just to remind people, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them, and we'll be reading them live on air. Ann wants to know, for those of us with no building experience, maybe it's not an hour project, but is this manageable in a weekend?
I would say so if you have the equipment. It's true that you'll have to read the instructions step by step and move through them step by step. But I think it's a weekend project.
Okay.
I realize that everybody comes to it with their background and experience, and so I can't tell you for sure how long it's going to take. But I think people without building experience should not be afraid to tackle it.
Okay, so essentially, I mean, if you can build a birdhouse, you can build a chicken house.
Well, I think with time and with the proper tools, there's several things that are especially important to build this right. Again, it's a good miter saw, a saw that cuts square and straight. That's important. You can use a skill saw or something like that, but a table saw is very handy to cut the panels with. But probably one of the biggest tools that hurries things up is that little tool that Gene is using right now. It's called an impact.
I love my impact driver. Yeah.
And those will let you run screws in places that are quickly and efficiently.
And they're particularly good too. I think a lot of people are going to look around their wood pile, and they're going to see different pieces of wood, and they're going to say, I could use that, or I could use that.
That's right.
Those drivers are great for old wood and
Yep.
things that are knotty maybe.
Yep, you're exactly right. Let me grab a piece of.
Okay, Gene, do you need any more screws or anything?
I'm good for just for right now.
Okay.
I'll let you hold this in here for him, Josh, if you want to.
Yep.
I'll just let you have it, and Gene, I'll go get the hinges.
Just kind of center that in there more or less.
Okay. And are we going to have verticals here as well, or are these sufficient?
Have verticals there. Just,
Okay.
The siding is stiff enough there and the span is short enough that that's fine with it,
Okay.
without verticals. That's the door and the ramp.
Okay. Oh, you have your hinges.
He's got the hinges and
I did see one comment. They said that's a lot of work for an hour, but she sent a bunch of hearts. So if you're motivated by heart emoticons, so yeah, just for people that are tuning in, we are what, about 39 minutes into a coop build, and we're racing the clock trying to hit an hour. I think we might hit it. I don't know.
we'll get close.
We're gonna get pretty close if we don't. If we get anywhere close to an hour, I think that's pretty impressive.
I'll be happy.
You'll be happy with
An hour.
Will you be happy with an hour and a half?
Well, I will be, but Gene will beat that.
Oh, okay. So y'all got a long drive home. I don't want you to be unhappy.
Yeah, 3 hours home not being happy wouldn't be a good thing. And here we're installing a deadbolt that you can lock the chickens upstairs with.
And Tanya, if you want to come around here, you can see kind of the inside view of this without the nest box. The roosting bars and the little ladder here that they can climb up on to get into the nesting boxes and roosting area.
I'll get the other one first. Yeah, let's grab that one and give that to Gene, and that goes, let me see, this goes up and that goes down. There we go. Now what we're doing right here, we've got this 2x4 that we've screwed to the back of, or maybe screwed some siding to the back of it. That siding becomes the gusset to hold the door in place. It helps make the coop more solid, squares it up, and just does a lot to make it a nice sturdy unit. Again, we've tried to make as much as we've tried to use the dimension lumber for structure as well as trim. And so if you paint your lumber ahead of time, you can just get it will speed the construction a good bit. If you can wait to paint till afterward, but as a rule, it's just better it makes it faster and easier if you paint beforehand.
Gene, this piece is going to go right up here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so for people that are just tuning in, we're live here today with Egg Carton, and we're racing the clock on an hour mark. We're 40 minutes into a coop build, and what we're not doing here is not just building a coop, we're also building a chicken tractor. And that's kind of the key part of this, is that we want to build a coop that moves so that we can distribute the manure around your property and not overgraze any particular part of your pasture or yard. So if this isn't going to bother you, Gene, I'll just go ahead and jack that up right there. And that's what you do with it.
Why don't you demonstrate the other side, Josh, so you see how it works when you push it down and it actually latches in place.
Oh, okay.
Just the front pedal there. It's the other one.
Oh,
Sorry,
the
I
other
told you
front
wrong.
pedal?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Locks into place, and then to unlatch, you just step on the back pedal.
And that's pretty easy right there. Pretty solid mechanism. And I know one of the things when we were first talking about this particular wheel kit and this design, a lot of people, they build a really heavy coop and then they get where they can't move their heavy coop around because they've put 400 pounds on it, and then they don't invest in a quality lift mechanism. And so that's what we got right here. You know, they say build with the foundation, and if you are building for mobility, you've really got to invest in some quality wheels and a lifting mechanism.
I should point out that these wheels are actually a polyurethane tire. They don't go flat, but they're not just a hard rubber. They're a solid. They're a solid tire and should last a long time. We've tried to build quality, longevity into this unit as far as simplicity and ease of use.
Yep. So Paula Humphreys Bratton wants to know. She says, I don't know. You know, this whole thing looks pretty heavy. I don't know if I can lift it and pull it around. How strong does your butt have to be to kick this thing up?
Well, I think I haven't tested this one, but the other evening I lifted it. I don't think that's right now. It doesn't take more than 20 pounds of pressure to lift it.
Okay.
The work will come lifting the other end. The other end is going to be a little bit heavier, but that's where you've got a lever where you can lever up and pick it up with the dolly here.
Now, our chickens are so excited about this that they've decided they're going to come check it out, but we got to get them back in their netting. They don't get to come in here just yet. So for someone, you know, maybe someone who's a little older, or well, you've got a cast on your hand.
Yes.
Say if you hurt your arm, you can still scoot this thing around, right?
I do. I can. Yes.
Okay.
I admit it's not as simple and as easy to move as the ones that we build and sell, but it's a lot simpler than most chicken tractors.
Right. So you can pull this thing up a hill. You can pull it over uneven terrain.
It just right. Again, I say it's the human factor that is the limiting factor. It's not the mechanical part of it.
Cool. Okay, so let's see where we are. We've got our gussets in place.
Right. We're ready to hang the door here just directly, I think. I think Gene's going to get the rest of the mesh on first, and then we'll be ready for the door just directly.
Okay.
And I think I left my...
And you want to talk about your door design at all, or anything?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. What we've done here, we just took 2x4s, and again, we painted them before we started, and so we could cut our angles at 45 degrees, and then on the back side we could use a piece of siding that came out of what we were cutting. I could have left it, it would have been, I had to make it this small just to economize on material, but this is just screwed to the back of these 2x4s, and so it makes a very solid door, and by the time we get done here, it'll be this chicken tractor could last somebody quite a while, really.
You know, someone was commenting on there, and they're talking about, they said they had gone and bought a cheaper chicken tractor, and they were, it fell apart on them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this thing is designed in Kansas, and in western Kansas at that, and we're kind of known for our tornadoes, which we don't get as many of as you think. But this thing looks designed to last, for sure.
I have a problem. I prefer selling things that sell themselves and they don't come back.
You're of the overbuilt.
Yeah.
I'm of that school as well. My grandfather taught me. We built some cabinets one time, and I think those cabinets will be there long after the rest of that house will be there. Same thing with this chicken tractor. It outlasts the flock.
Oh yes, several times over. Okay, are you?
You want to bring them on camera? Oh, we can't put them in yet, but we can show them in camera. The chickens would not stay in their coop, so I don't know if you want to go in and these little guys. they're not staying in there. They want to check it out.
Gene, you need some hinges, don't you?
So if people have any questions, just be sure to ask them in the comments here, and we will ask them. Kathy wants to know, can you show stepping on the wheel?
Yes.
All right, Kathy. You want to do it?
I'll be glad.
Okay.
You step on the front pedal to latch it. You step on the back pedal to unlatch it. Obviously, you raise both sides, and after you've raised both sides, you come to the front or the other end with the dollies on, and you raise that with the dolly and move it that way. Once we get it all finished, we get Gene out of the chicken coop, we'll actually move it around so you can see how it works.
Okay. I think y'all can put those in the brooder box. The chickens it's all this action. They absolutely do not want to stay in the netting.
That's hilarious. Gene, can I get you a shim? I thought we did. Here, we'll cheat a little bit. Here. Set it on there.
Put that hinge down too low.
Okay. I'll hold it here for you.
That's what I wanted right there.
Yeah. Now that bottom is out a little bit. Just fasten it where it is fine. Get it centered. What am I doing?
Just a little.
Little whopper jaw here.
Okay, it's just apparently things are.
We're not quite flat,
We're
maybe.
not quite flat or something.
Go ahead, that's fine.
Check, check. I see you're using the old kickboard trick.
Yep. This is just to give us a. Here, let me drop this down, Gene. I think I'm a little too high. Can that go in? Can that go back a little bit?
A little bit. How does that look?
Yeah. That looks pretty good.
Okay,
I think that'll work.
do we have any questions that we want to?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, and just to remind people, what are we at? We're like at 45 minutes?
We're getting close. We're getting close.
What? 40, oh. Ooh, 54.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this counter here. 54.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Okay. We're 54 minutes into a coop build, and what we have accomplished so far, and we've been talking too. I mean, we're not nose to the
We've only got
grindstone.
one guy working.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's a one-man operation here. We're goofing off. 54 minutes, and this whole thing has come together. We've put the wheels on. We've put the mesh around the base. Put the mesh here. Built the coop box. Put in the roosting bars. And installing a latch.
When you're ready, Gene, you can fasten this latch with 2-inch.
Gene, I think you've done this before.
A few times.
Just a few times?
What size?
I think it's the, no, what is it, the 8?
Wants to know, is there any need to cover the fencing on the inside with wood strips, and I assume she means this fencing right here and here, with wood strips for extra security and safety?
I don't think so. I think this will be, you could if you wanted to, but you have to get a fairly aggressive predator to do any harm here.
I mean, this thing is so heavy that even something that I'm thinking of is like a bear. We don't really have too many bears in Kansas, but in other places with black bear, I don't think a black bear is really going to flip this thing.
He'll have to get pretty desperate before he does.
Yeah, there's easier food out there.
Right, right. And this is a little piece of trim that goes on to.
Are you going to need this drill motor again?
We're done. We're done with that. We'll go ahead and put this.
Okay.
I'll just move this down. Gene, you don't have the other two screws, do you? To fasten that.
I thought I picked all that stuff up and I couldn't find them.
Okay, well that's fine. We'll let's just use this to fasten the top of the.
Do you want me to start laying that OSB on the roof?
You know what? Let's go ahead and grab any one of those pieces will be fine.
Okay.
And we'll get Gene. That's fine, Gene. I got it taken care of back there. Here again, we've designed this sheeting so that you can. The entire roof comes out of one piece of plywood, or one piece of OSB in this case. With absolutely no waste.
And that's the part that I think is really cool. This is just one sheet. And, you know, and I think so many people, when they get into weekend building projects, especially people that aren't building stuff all the time, you know, they just wind up with a bunch of waste that they got to throw away, or maybe they can put it in their wood burner. This is really a smart plan here.
There we go, that's it. That's it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. The rooster? We don't have a rooster.
I've made it flush down here. That's good. Okay, great. Right there, that's good.
Rooster? Oh, that rooster, the one that's on the flock fresh bag? Oh, the bedding. The bedding goes in before the chickens.
Raise that up to.
Now, Jeff, way too professional. Y'all to the guys from Egg Car out here putting, and we'd get it up. this. So that's why we call it. And so you're marking.
You get a eave header, I should say.
Wanted to know about the nest box.
Yes,
so I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, let's. That we build out of. We built a frame of 2x4s and screwed them together with 3 screws, and then just put the siding around it. Screw the siding around it, and that'll provide a nice sized nest box. You can get 2 hands in there very easily, and then it'll have a lid that sits on the back. We'll install that just directly here.
And for the people that are asking about the nest box, that goes on the back end of this coop. And that'll be put up here just really quickly.
Right. Just a second. Okay. Try that. Let me. Go ahead and put 2 at the bottom and 2.
So also, I mean, a lot of people are really, they're just giving us a lot of feedback on this. So I want to pass that along. They're saying this looks really great, and they really appreciate y'all showing us how to do this today. You know, I think one of the messages we want to bring home with this project is that you can do this too. You can have a design like this, and you can make it a professional chicken tractor with a wheel kit. I mean, it may not look quite this nice, but
it can easily look this nice. It just takes you just follow the just follow the directions.
okay. And we really appreciate everyone that's commenting and reacting to this video and sharing it, especially if you know somebody who's got chickens this year. Maybe they have pullets right now and they need to go in a coop and they're looking at some designs. Make sure you share this video with them. Give them a heads up that this is the sort of thing they can do.
That's how you access the eggs, just a simple little lid like that. And if you're concerned about weatherproofing, you can put a little rubber strip along the back here. It's under the eave here. It could get wet in a driving rain. So I recommend considering a little bit of a weather flap in the back there.
And Roxanne just tuned in, and she says, or Kathy, sorry, Kathy was wondering where this next nest box was going this whole time, and she said this is really smart to have it outside because you can just reach right in.
Right.
Get all your eggs.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think we're ready to get some roofing over here.
All right. And so
We will wait to use the fasten with nails until let's just take them all at once.
Okay.
2 of these will go on that side, 2 will stay on this side. Let's set up 2 of them right here, and the other 2 can go on the other side.
Okay.
Why don't we let's try and keep the painted side down and install it. But yeah, just take those 2 over there. This is
Okay. And for the people asking about the roofing, we're really excited this time. Not only are we getting to try out some new things with Egg Carton's wheel kit, we're also really happy to work with Ondaline and try this new corrugated asphalt roofing material. I've never used corrugated asphalt before. I've always used metal roofs. But we're going to try this today. David's used it a couple decades ago. So I don't know, David, is this pretty much what you remember of the material, or is this different?
It's very similar. It was a different color.
Okay.
But it's very, very similar to what they had used back then. It gives you a little bit of a tile look, and so that some people like it for aesthetics.
Well, it kind of goes with we didn't tell Ondaline what color the coop was going to be. They just sent this red. It's all red and white. Looks like a barn.
It does.
It's pretty good. Okay. Do you want me to get that ridge cap as well?
Yeah, why don't you bring that over here,
Okay.
and then the closure strips as well. We'll need to use those as well.
Okay.
We'll actually put those on clear at the just as you put the ridge cap on.
Okay.
Well, you know what else? We should tuck that underneath here then, but we'll do that. Got it? Just some short screws and we'll tack this in place. Let's give ourselves, let me try, I'm gonna hold that and I'll pop this up here. Okay, I'm over about, you know what, I would rather use the factory edge. Okay, now we're over about a half an inch. What do you have there?
An eighth maybe.
Okay, let's go your way a little bit. Okay, that sounds good. Now just put one screw at each corner. One over, and then one over here.
You want to go factory edge under
I
top or good with that?
I think we'll be fine there. I want the factory edge in front at least.
Yeah, well, we need to flash this at all, or is this good?
This you don't have to flash this. If I were shingling, I would use drip cap along the edge here.
Okay.
On this, I don't want it sticking out, protruding past very far because of getting damaged.
Okay.
And so it'd be good when we're done to just paint that whole side, and it would dress it up something. Gene, shall we? Let's see. Let's go to the same way back here.
And were you overlapping one or two?
One. Just one. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah, back one. That's. There you go.
To the edge of the other V or come up to the peak?
Up to the peak is fine. Yeah. May as well as not. Now, can we sight down through there, Josh? And where are we as far as, like with the, that doesn't look too, yeah, that looks good.
And Tanya, do you want to kind of get this sight line? And when you're checking that sight line, what are you looking for?
I'm just looking for a straight line from here to the other end. Make sure there's no swags in it.
Okay.
Probably not over 20, 25 pounds, I would guess.
For the total, probably,
For
yeah.
the total, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's any heavier than shingles.
No, it's lighter than shingles. It is definitely lighter than shingles because you've only got one layer. Well, you've got two layers right here, I guess, because we're overlapping. But it is light. Yes, you can cut it down. We're not taking the time to do that here today. It doesn't have to be cut down. It can serve just as it is.
How far does it drop down over here?
I wonder too. That 2 1/4. I'll hold this. Let's go your way just a little bit, Josh. That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
And we're maintaining kind of a hat. Well, this looks like about an inch and a quarter here.
Yeah, actually,
Two and
that's
a quarter.
we're trying to go 2 1/4. So
Go down just another quarter inch. Sorry.
all right, there you go. Actually,
Oh.
now back there, just a little further down. That's good right there.
Okay. Do you have that? You have that in?
Yeah, that
Fastened.
end's
Okay.
fastened.
Let's do this one. Okay, that looks pretty good right there, Gene.
Yeah, and I mean, for the question of cutting it down, I don't know. I don't think I would cut it down myself.
There's no reason to really.
It just adds a little extra protection on the top. You know, I put a metal roof on a house one time, and you know, you get a big 20-foot long sheet of metal roofing. I think this is a little bit more manageable for my book, and certainly a lot less conductive. So.
Yeah, that is that. It is that.
So I know if you're someone who's concerned about you know, the heat in your area or cold in your area, you know, having an insulative material like this will help.
Right.
And also, kind of, does your design help with heat, or does it vent at all? Or
That's one reason to put sheeting on there. I think technically you wouldn't have to have sheeting on under this, but I just prefer the sheeting because it makes a very solid unit that way. You got to sheet it all the way around. I should point out one thing yet. When we're done here, we'll be going through it and fastening this with nails that is provided by On the Line, you say?
Yep.
And we'll fasten that down with nails yet on the ridge to make sure that to get a good seal on it.
all right.
Well, we ought to demonstrate the Coop now. Here's how it works. You step down on this pedal. It weighs 30 pounds now, or 35, but it's still very manageable to raise. And then at the other end, you simply pick up the Coop, and you either move it uphill or down, and you can turn almost at a right angle if you need to.
All right.
Josh, that's a chicken tractor.
That's a chicken tractor, and I would say hour and what? What are we looking at? Hour and 5 minutes?
Hour and a half.
Whoa! I mean, there was some downtime.
I was timing it too.
There was some downtime in here. So I think we're ready to show a couple chickens this coop if we can throw some bedding in there, and
That's
I think let's introduce a couple chickens. I'll grab them.
alrighty.
You'll have to give them the grand tour yourself, though. All right, so we have a couple chickens. Let's see what they think. These are the ultimate judges here. What do you think, chickens? All right, so you just close them up in there. Oh, now their friends want to come too. So they're not quite on pasture, but they're getting after all those pebbles. They think it's grit. What is grit?
That is a grit of sorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see.
I think that's about all I have to say, except that this chicken tractor ought to last you for a long time, Josh.
It's ready to roll.
It's ready to roll. We're gonna put in on a few finishing touches yet. We're gonna touch up with some paint and make it look like a professional job by the time we're done. And we're gonna fasten the roofing down the way that the manufacturer suggests, putting filler strips in underneath it. But for all practical purposes, this works as is.
This is ready to roll. Okay, people. Well, you saw it here. A chicken coop. Maybe not in less than an hour, but a chicken coop in, I'm going to say an hour and 15 minutes of one person working and two people yakking the whole time. If you have questions, if you have any questions, be sure to ask them in the comments, and we'll continue to answer those questions throughout the day. If you want to learn more about chicken tractors, eggcarton.com. These are your guys. Is there an email address and a phone number on there?
All I have is the website. The email address is sales@eggcarton.com.
Cool. Let them know. Let them know if you're interested in coops or wheel kits. And we'll see you at the Topeka Mother Earth News Fair too, right?
That's right.
So you can come see live in person there. All right. Thanks, guys. And if you want to see this video or any other videos after the fact, you go to the video tab on our Facebook page, and they will be there for you. Until next week.